Hello folks, just a quick video. I finished that dog training thing today. Dog's name is River. Sweet dog. Very, very sweet dog. But to be honest, I mean, from my understanding of looking at the situation, I'd say continuing the training with that dog is cruelty. Based upon the fact that, the trainer himself, today he was talking about the fact that there are dogs that are natural leaders and can cope with the situation of, like, well, for example, being walked around town, hearing noises of cars, because, well, today was a bit wetter, so, the sound of the cars and the wheels and the splashing made her a bit more scared today, okay. But then you go past a place a home where they've got a dog barking, and she's petrified, this poor girl. So if she's scared of noises from trucks or even cars on wet days and stuff like that, and any noises of dogs, any kids that might be screaming, she might be scared of as well. My understanding with regards to that is, okay, certainly if you're talking about the fact that she's not a natural leader, but he said that when he basically let the dog in to its home, the owner wasn't there, so the trainer's got a key. There's another dog there, and River basically took the toy out the other dog's mouth as soon as she went in. And he said, well, that's because she sees herself as a leader. But the problem is, okay, if I could speak dog, I could explain to River very, very quickly that first of all, she's not the leader. And secondly, when on lead, she needs to calm down. She needs to understand that if I'm walking her, I'm in control, not her. But I can't speak her language. And she doesn't understand mine. What gets me is that I think he said that in the report he's going to put down the fact that I think that dogs are too intelligent and they understand us, that sort of thing. No, I didn't actually say that. Basically what I was talking to him about in the past is my dogs are suffering, or were suffering, when they were taken away from me and each other. That made the dogs suffer, obviously. And he's basically said, but as long as they're being looked after, they'll be okay, because they'll focus on the one who's looking after them, and they'll have a sort of bond with them anyway, and they realise that they're being taken care of, and they'll be okay with that. To a certain degree. To a certain degree, that is true. But then he's then thinking that this dog, River, will be intelligent enough to pick up on what he's saying. And intelligent enough to pick up on, well, especially because as far as the trainer knows, he's actually said, as far as he knows, he doesn't think that there'll be opportunities where he's going to walk with the owners and teach them how to walk their dog. Now, to me, that's one of the first things you do. I mean, certainly if you don't think there's an opportunity of doing that, then, I mean, to me, what I'd say to the person, the owner, is, I'm sorry, but, well, okay, let's talk about this particular dog. I would say to the owner to this dog, can she walk, is she walking okay if she goes to a woody area where there's no other people, no dogs, that sort of thing, or if she goes to a park late at night or very early in the morning where there's hardly anyone near? Does she walk okay then? What's she like when you let her off lead? When she plays in the garden, is she okay? All these things, these are questions I would ask, because I want to see, is she scared of being outside in a garden? No, okay. So that's one place you can play with a dog. Okay, good. If you take her to the woods, is she scared? And there's no one else there, is she scared of that? She might pull a bit, but is she scared? Does she behave in a way that shows fear all the time? Are there noises that make her try to tug a bit more and try to run away from it? If no, then that's another place you can take her. Okay, you may still need to teach her not to tug, not to pull, but at least you're in an environment where she's more likely to take notice of that because of the fact that she's not continually alert. Because she's scared so much. So it's like today. The trainer said that because we walked past a home where that dog was barking like mad, I got River to sit and just sit and try to reassure her why this dog was barking. But afterwards she was still pulling quite a lot, and he said, but obviously what that dog was doing, barking at her, has basically thrown her, so you probably won't get her to focus now. But if that's the case, don't fucking walk her in areas like that. You're trying to train a dog in an environment that scares the crap out of that dog, and once she's scared in that way, she will not take any notice. So what are you doing? Keep her away from that environment. Oh, I tell you, it is insane. You've got situations with humans where some people are starting to realise that they have conditions, and because of that condition they need to stay away from areas that are mouldy or areas that are too humid or areas that, so therefore they understand that. Now look, because of that dog's condition, she probably needs to stay away from areas that are going to really make that condition even worse. I don't see the point. To me, I would educate the parents, or the owners, and say to them, this dog shouldn't be walked in this environment. If it causes this dog this much stress, then it shouldn't be walked in this environment. It's insane doing that. To me, that's that's my view, because it's not. If a dog is pulling because it's excited and it's too excited, you can deal with that. That's easy enough to deal with. But if a dog is pulling because it's trying to flee, that's a different thing completely. And if you're going to do it, you have to do it with the owners. You can't do it with anyone else. You have to do it with the owners. If they are unwilling, then okay, sorry, but you either don't get to walk your dog around the streets, or when you do, that dog's going to be pulling so much it's going to basically tear into your fingers. You're going to be constantly struggling, because if you won't be involved in the training of your dogs that you understand, because it's, again, the ridiculously stupid bloody thing about it is, the dog goes to a trainer, comes back to the owners who have no idea what's been going on in the training, so can't continue that training away from the dog trainer. So the dog trainer gets that dog to a point where it's learned with the dog trainer. Now that dog has to go back to owners who aren't bothering to continue what the dog trainer's been doing, because they've never actually bothered to go with that dog trainer. If you have a dog that's a problem, you have to go with the trainer. If you're not going to go with the trainer, give up and sell the dog. Just get rid of the dog. Give the dog to someone who will actually put the effort in. Simple as that, really. So will I become a dog trainer? No. Because if I come across people like that, I will just speak truth to them. I'm not going to lie to get work. I wouldn't do that. I'm not saying this bloke is doing it. I mean, maybe he really believes he can help this dog to be calmer in that. Yeah, maybe. And cool. But that will only be when that dog's with him. Because if the owners won't go with him and be trained, because you're not just training a dog, you're training the owners to walk the dog. Because that dog knows when he's got the lead that a certain way of behaving is acceptable, but not doing what you normally do. With the owners, just do what you want to do, basically. That's acceptable because they're not teaching you how to do things. So, yeah. To me, what I learned from that, because I said to Colin that, that's finished now, the dog training thing. And, he said, what did you learn? And I said, well, nothing really. But if I really think about what I learned, this is what I learned. Yeah, so just like some humans. You have, certainly as a kid, we had some boys who were just no good at sport. They never wanted to do sport. It just wasn't them. And no matter how much the PE teacher tried to push that kid to get involved, they didn't want to get involved. It was just causing problems to the kid. That's what it was doing. Yeah. And there are dogs that are like that. That certain environments are not good for them. There are certain dogs that you really shouldn't let off lead because you have a major problem getting them back. But there are other dogs that let them off lead as quickly as possible because they are absolutely terrible on the lead and they always will be. But as long as you understand that, that's the point. You need to understand your dog and your dog needs to understand you. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it's like some people that are owners try to mould their dog into what they want a dog to be instead of understanding that, okay, this is the dog they got and this is the nature of that dog. You're never going to be able to mould that dog into that necessarily. So are you going to accept the dog you have as it is, pretty much? I mean, there are always certain bits you can train a dog. I mean, generally speaking. Yeah. There are always certain things you can train them to do, and they would do happily, but beyond a certain amount, they're not going to do. Generally speaking, that's the case. I mean, take collies, for example. Collies are very intelligent dogs. You try and get a collie to work behind a counter at Tesco's. Won't be able to do it. It doesn't have anything that's going to help that dog really to be able to do that job. That job is way beyond the means of that dog. And, simply walking on the lead around town can be way beyond the means of some dogs, and trying to train that in them is not going to work because it's just who they are. It's their nature. So there you go. I'll leave it to it. You take care, God bless, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.